It is now time to cut the chap leather. You'll notice I have laid it out on my table upside down. Before I did that, I checked the surface to make sure it was nice and clean, and I marked an area here where there was a brand that I would like to avoid. So now I will take a pen, and since I'm on the back side, I can use a pen, and I will trace all the way around the outside of my pattern with the pen. Right here I will mark a little letter or mark where the letter D is, and I will continue around. As you can see now, you'll notice I have cut out these holes and the slots in my pattern, and now I can mark them with my pen. This is now for one leg. I will now flip the pattern and trace the other leg. For these little tabs, it's a good idea to take a skiving knife and skive them down to about a 3 to 4 ounce. And then after they're skived, we'll punch the holes to 1/8 inch in each end as we've marked them. These will be for the rivets. And then we will use a 3/4 inch oblong punch and punch in the center. And this is what we'll do to 6 of these. For the buckle tab for the front belt, I will skive that on both ends, and I'll skive it down to a feather edge here at this point. And we'll do this on both sides. And the other end of the front belt, we'll also skive that down from about 1.5 inches in down to a feather edge. On the belt tab of the yokes, we'll punch 8 3/16 inch holes as shown on your pattern. We'll do that to both of them. And in the back belt, we'll punch 4 3/16 holes in each end. And here are all of our parts cut out of the 6 to 7 ounce vegetable tan tooling leather. we have the 2 yokes, we have the 2 parts for the front belt, the 2 back covers where we'll attach snaps with the 6 little tabs that we've made. We also have the 2 covers that'll go on the outside to cover where the little buckles are attached, and we have a back belt which will attach to the ends of the yokes. Now, if we're going to do any tooling, dyeing, and finishing, now is the time to do it. Before we start our tooling, there's a little planning that we need to do. If you'll notice here on the pattern, I have cut the pattern out that I will use to cut my chap leather, but in the meantime we need to position our piece of leather where it'll go, and make a mark with your finger here is fine, and then this will be as far as we'll do what we're going to do next. Now what we're going to do next, I'm going to take the stitching groover, and I'm going to groove a line where we will stitch and the reason we're doing this is because when we and notice now I'll go right to where I made that mark and stop. Now I will start on the other side and do the same thing, and that will be our stitch line. Now we will now bring our wing dividers in here, and we'll put a border. I have decided to basket stamp this, so now I will take the wing dividers and mark where my border will go for the basket stamping. Actually, I will have a swivel knife cut here, and now I will take the guide out of my stitching groover, and I will run a stitch line across the end as you see here. And now we're ready to start the tooling. And now we will do the same thing to the decorative buckle cover pieces. It is now time to cut the chap leather. You'll notice I have laid it out on my table upside down. Before I did that, I checked the surface to make sure it was nice and clean, and I marked an area here where there was a brand that I would like to avoid. So now I will take a pen, and since I'm on the back side, I can use a pen, and I will trace all the way around the outside of my pattern with the pen. Right here I will mark a little letter or mark where the letter D is, and I will continue around as you can see. Now you'll notice I have cut out these holes and the slots in my pattern, and now I can mark them with my pen. This is now for one leg. I will now flip the pattern and trace the other leg. And now we will cut out our pieces of shap leather with a good quality shears. And now I will punch the holes that we marked with the round drive punch, which will be for rivets, and then the slot, 3/4 inch slot, for our straps to come through. And we'll do this to both legs. Now it is time to attach the back covers to the legs, and you'll notice I have applied contact cement to the end of the leg and also to the back of the back cover. And now we will very carefully place that where it goes, as indicated on the pattern. And now we will take our wing divider and mark all the way around, and then I will hand stitch this. I will punch it with a fouling chisel all the way through both thicknesses of leather. We will do this all the way around, and we'll do it to both legs. As you can see, we have stitched the strap buckle covers into place onto the legs, and we'll now take a 1/8 inch punch and we'll punch through the existing holes and through the shap leather. Next, we will take one of the buckle tabs. We'll push a medium rivet through one of the holes, and we'll bring it up through the buckle cover, as you can see. Now we will take one of the buckles and push the tongue through the slot, as you can see. Come back through the keeper part and put it on top of the eyelet part of the rivet. Snap it in place, and then with the rivet setter, we'll set the rivet. Now we'll take another rivet and come up through the other hole, through the top. We'll put the cap on, and with the setter we'll set the second rivet. We will do the same thing to the other one on this end and on the other three on the other leg. And here is a close-up view of how these buckles are attached.